this podcast is it sort of strikes me as a mix of my two favorite podcasts, Behind the Bastards and Knowledge Fight,
Okay.
because the subjects that we talk about are fucking miserable, but I get such a kick out of it. Bobby
Yo.
Bobbington,
Hmm.
Miss Bobberts.
Yeah.
I would like you to look at a meme.
Okay.
And I want you to read what it says and kind of explain what you're seeing in the image.
The rules are simple. In a Google search, type in insert anything, racist/sexist. Reply with your best. And then in the search bar, it says, is smiling racist? Okay. I wouldn't think so. And then you want me to read what's in this box down here?
You know what? Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And it says, the weird connection between smiling and racism. Science of us, the cut.
Yeah, and that's the result of their search, asking if smiling is racist.
Oh, hang on, there's more. It says, yes, your brain can make quick, sloppy, discriminatory judgments, but there are ways to nudge it back on track. Stupid brains.
All right, so this actually comes from a trend of memes that suggests that everything is considered racist. It comes from a similar perspective that we are not allowed to joke about anything anymore, or that everything is too politically correct or woke.
Right.
It comes from that same kind of mentality.
It's tough making a joke nowadays. You never know who's going to get upset about it.
You know, we will kind of address that a little bit. I am in the just kind of a pre-disclosure here. I am in the mindset that people are not as offended as you think they are. You can make all sorts of jokes. You can make awful, horrible jokes, and I've offended people in the past.
But there's always that one person.
But like there's always been that one person. It's not a new thing by any means.
Not at all.
And it's weird because like if you think back, if like you look at people who are offended or upset by things, if you go back into like the 90s, it was always right-wing people. If you go to the 2010s, the early 2010s, it was left-wing people, who seemed to be offended by everything. But really, the general population is not easily offended.
True.
And like most of us, we like offensive humor, and that's why
I certainly do.
I do too. Yeah, and I'm super left-leaning. But there's always this idea that we have politicized everything, which we have. But I'm not just saying for left people, like just in general,
Right.
the whole public has in the United States has politicized pretty much anything you can think of. But I don't think people are as offended as everyone wants to act like they are. And there's a huge difference between making like a decent joke and just yelling the N-word over and over again. You know, there's a huge difference between those two things. And usually when people are offended, it's because they think you're wrong in some way. Not because you made a joke, but because they think that you sincerely believe something that is incorrect. And I get annoyed by that as well. If you sincerely believe that a person of a different race is like inferior to you or something like that, then that I would find that offensive because there's no evidence behind it, and you're putting somebody down for literally no reason. But if you just make a stupid joke, I'm not going to give a shit.
Right.
But at the same time, I have a certain type of privilege being a young white male.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
And like, even though I have faced some discrimination because of my Middle Eastern last name, for example, at airports, it takes me a little longer to get through customs. And my brother, it took him a extra long time, and same for me. It took us both an extra long time to get our passports because we got randomly selected for a background check, randomly, sure. But like the thing is, I haven't gone through the daily struggle that it is to be a person of color because I'm very white presenting, and plus I'm a shut-in, so I don't really have my skin tone,
Right.
I am very pale for a Middle Eastern person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that has affected my life all that much. We will be going over some of the claims in this meme trend, but let's break down this specific meme first. So they asked if smiling is racist, and Google provided a result. So presumably, the meme suggests that smiling is in fact considered racist. But what is not provided is what the article actually claims. We have just the headline. So they typed in "is smiling racist," and the result that they got was the weird connection between smiling and racism. It seems kind of a big leap to suggest that because they got this result, suddenly smiling must be considered racist.
Mm-hmm.
But the point that Spooky is making here is essentially that no matter what you search, somebody's going to consider it racist.
Right.
What's not provided here is the context of the actual study. So, the article is referring to a study wherein people were asked to make assumptions about white and Asian men and women based on photos. Some people were shown the subjects smiling, and
Okay.
some were shown the subjects expressionless.
Mm.
Of course, assumptions about the individuals pictured did surface some racial and sex based presumptions. But when it came to smiling, something interesting happened. So, this is a quote directly from the article.
Okay.
Most important, though, was that the influence of faces, gender, and ethnicity on the students' personality ratings disappeared or were greatly reduced when those faces were smiling. Smiling provides cues related to a personality that are strong enough to negate the use of information based on gender or race in forming impressions of others. Smiling levels the playing field. Essentially, it says the opposite of smiling being racist.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it sounds like it.
like basically, um basically smiling, if a person who could be the subject of racism, and this just whenever white and Asian people, so obviously this doesn't necessarily apply to the stereotypes that we ascribe to all different races,
Mm-hmm.
but in this study it showed that when an Asian person was smiling, the assumptions based on their race essentially disappeared. So it's really interesting, like how that slight change in facial expression can change what people assume about you based on a photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it makes sense, because like if you're smiling in a photograph, you might look jovial, you might look fun, you might look nice. Whereas if you're expressionless, you might look stoic, you might look studious,
Mm-hmm.
something that would be, or to pull back an old racial stereotype about Asian people, inscrutable, these things might surface if you're not smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And whether right or wrong, it's interesting to look into because of what this study has brought to the surface. But did it say that did it say that smiling is racist?
No, it asked if it was. Didn't say it was.
Yeah. I mean, the article itself, like,
Yeah.
It didn't. It didn't even like. It had nothing to do with smiling being racist.
No.
But this is what memes do. It lets people use just their lizard brains to just make assumptions based on not even a surface level understanding of what they're seeing. But no. Google have a result. Therefore, woke mind virus mean that people think smiling racist. It's so stupid. It's a dumb, like the meme itself, even the example in the meme. And this is a start of a chain that I went down. And even in the prime example in the meme, it didn't actually say that the innocuous thing that they were suggesting was actually racist. It's not even a long read. It would take very little effort to learn what is wrong with this, but it's getting shared and upvoted as if it's some kind of evidence that everything is racist. Unfortunately, this meme is not a standalone thing. The everything is racist narrative is a trend. People share all sorts of internet searches that supposedly show that everything is accused of being racist. One I found on Reddit caught my attention because it lacked context, but the poster seemed to be mind blown. So I followed their link to find out what was so egregious. Turns out that they asked if sleeping is racist. And boom.
Yeah, because only certain people sleep.
Boom. Bobby, don't you libtard. They found a result.
Oh, of course
when
they
they
did.
searched if sleeping was racist. And their post is just a link, and their link just says, "What in the goddamn fuck?" Because oh my god, can you believe that sleeping is racist? Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah, me either.
No.
So
everybody has to sleep.
Pop my neck a
I mean, you can only go, what, like 11 days without sleeping and then you die?
No, it's racist, Bobby.
No.
Have you slept?
Yeah,
Did
frequently.
You,
I love it.
Did you sleep last night?
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll do it again tonight, too.
You're racist.
Well, bring it on.
I was napping when you showed up. I'm racist.
You racist son of a bitch. How dare you? Brandy's napping right now. What a piece of shit.
What a racist. I'm dating a racist.
Oh, how could you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night?
I'm gonna have a talk with her about that racist sleeping she's doing. But hold on. She searched.
Brandy did?
No.
Oh, okay.
This poster, this Redditor,
right,
posted
yeah
this article to show that racist behavior includes sleeping. You ready for this?
All right, yeah, because I'm confused. I don't get it.
So
let's hear it.
The title of this article is Racism and Sleep. That's it. That proves it. Sleeping is racist. Boy, what a world we live in. Where sleeping is racist, and what? Maybe I should read the entire headline. Racism and sleep: why researchers say Black Americans are less likely to get a good night's rest. Huh.
What?
It's almost as if this person didn't even bother reading the whole fucking headline. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, when you want to post what in the goddamn fuck, like you're so offended that sleeping is being called racist, my god, and you didn't even read the whole fucking headline. If you just read the fucking headline, you would know this is not an article about sleeping being racist. It's stupid. This is fucking asinine. You've got to be out of your fucking mind. Or you're just being dishonest with yourself and the people around you, which I don't doubt that there's some self-delusionism going on for you to share an article like this and think, my God, I can't believe they're calling sleep racist. It's like, they're not. Nobody is.
No.
Literally nobody is. Not even the article you linked to.
You can't.
Anyway, just in case, because it didn't say that sleep is not racist in the headline, I feel like it might be necessary for me to read into it a bit, which I did.
Good.
The title alone makes it very clear that it's not calling sleep racist, but that racism affects sleep. And it doesn't take a ton of thought to understand how being a victim of racism might affect your sleep.
Yeah.
And this is something that's very important to understand because poor sleep has serious physical and mental impacts. If racism or the history of it is causing Black Americans to get poorer sleep, that is something worth exploring. And there is something pretty concrete in the article that explains why Black Americans are not getting good sleep. Of course, the stress of being the target of racism, the fear of being the target of racism, the fear of your family members being the target of racism will definitely affect your sleep. But there's even more to it than that. This is a quote from the article. According to researchers, it's not because of biological differences. It's more likely attributed to social and structural factors that influence our opportunity to get good sleep. Factors like noise pollution, whether it's traffic, construction, factories, or even airports. Researchers have found that Black Americans are more likely to live in communities where the noise levels are higher.
Okay.
Nothing about this article says that sleep is racist.
No, doesn't sound like it.
Nothing about it says that. And since people who share this crap love their anecdotal evidence, I can personally say that when I first moved to a small, quiet neighborhood, the first night there was one of the best sleeps I had ever had. I had not realized how much a quiet atmosphere improves my sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that I live on a busy highway, it definitely affects my sleep, especially in the early hours of the morning. You know, because I hear trucks and loud motorcycles and stuff like flying along the highway. It wakes me up way earlier than I ever intend to,
Right.
and it affects my sleep. You know, and like I bought the house because it was cheaper than the others. I also liked the fact that I was on a highway because I can take off and go wherever I want very quickly.
Easy access. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's no doubt that part of the reason why the house was cheaper is because it's on the highway,
right?
And it's noisy. You know, and that definitely has affected my sleep. There's no doubt in my mind that it has.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with sleeping being racist. It just has to do with the fact that the history of racism has funneled Black people into unfortunate situations wherein they have to make financial decisions that lead them to living in noisier areas.
Yeah.
And so they don't get as good of sleep. And then also, obviously, the stress of the fact that racism has always existed and still does. And it's not saying that sleeping is racist. The person who posted this didn't even bother to put like an inkling of thought into it.
No.
Didn't even bother to read the entire headline, let alone the article.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the majority of stuff on the internet, though. I mean, people can post anything they want without any repercussions. You know, you just put it out there and see what happens, and you just do whatever you want. And you don't have to think about it. You just put it out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe this person was sleep deprived.
It's true. It's true. They might be sleep deprived. Who knows? But there's more.
No, I'm not surprised.
There's more. All right. So we know that last person was definitely right because they Googled if sleep was racist and they got a result, and therefore the world's too woke and they think sleeping is racist. Even though even the article they provided said the opposite. But there is something very important here.
Okay.
Bobby, what's something that you do very often, every day?
Go to the bathroom. I've always got to go to the bathroom. I can go to the bathroom right now.
We'll go over that later. But but what's something that you don't even think about? It doesn't even cross your mind. It's not breathing. It's something else that you do, and you don't even realize you do it. It's involuntary unless you think about it, and it happens all the time. In fact, I've watched you do it several times just now.
Blinking?
Blinking.
Oh, yeah, I blink a lot.
That's right. That is right. One guy searched and found that blinking is racist.
Of course it is.
I can't believe it. This idiot.
Yep.
I mean, sorry, this person on Twitter. No, it was Reddit. It's all blurring together at this point. I read too much of this crap.
Yeah, I bet.
But this guy searched to see if blinking is racist.
Well, sure.
And this is what he posted. He said, "Is blinking racist?" First article. ...
boy. Well, that's more than your average number of dots.
As it is, yeah.
Is that racist? Too many dots?
Probably.
I bet it is. I bet you can find an article about it.
He didn't search that. He searched blinking. Blinking. Like, he can't believe it. First article he found shows that blinking is racist. So, I will read from this article the evidence he provided. Quote, Wang, a tiny... I should have warned you before I said Wang.
Sorry, I'm a child.
We both are.
You can't just say Wang without any warning like that. Throw that out there. Wang.
Wang warning. Wang warning.
You need a sign, like some people have an applause sign.
I should throw out a Wang warning. Don't giggle. I'm going to say Wang.
Incoming Wang.
Warning, incoming Wang.
Wang in 3, 2. Wang.
Perfect. Okay, so anyway, Wang warning. This is a quote directly from the article that this person quoted or linked to show how crazy it is that everything is considered racist. And blinking, my fucking God, it's racist.
I never blink.
And he found, I don't either. I stopped doing that once I became woke.
You got that?
That's what woke means. Woke means you stop blinking.
Yeah, you're awake, so you wouldn't
so
blink.
Woke.
What was that?
I'm so woke, I don't fucking blink. You know.
What was that movie where they propped that guy's up one?
Clockwork Orange.
Orange is the New Black.
Clockwork Orange. God damn it. Stanley Kubrick. And then
that movie. And they got his eyes popped open.
Such a good movie.
You can't blink.
And you got Malcolm McDowell as
He's
Alex
a great
DeLarge.
actor.
He is so amazing.
He always has been.
He's such a great. And in one of the Halloween remakes, which we've had a billion of them.
Oh yeah.
He played Dr. Loomis.
And was that the Rob Zombie
and
one?
He was so good.
He was
in
good.
That.
I love that
so
guy. I've never been unhappy with a Malcolm McDowell performance.
I have an idea of the Tank Girl.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
He's amazing. Oh God, he's so good. I wonder what he's doing right now.
I don't know. Hopefully, he's listening to our podcast.
That'd be fucking amazing.
How crazy would that be? Leave a comment.
I'll tag him and just see.
Yeah. That'd be great.
And he'll be like, "Yeah, I've heard it a couple times. I don't give a shit."
Let us know. You want to be on it?
Oh my God, I would kill to have Malcolm McDowell on our podcast.
That would be cool.
I'd have to find like a Malcolm McDowell. There's a billion Clockwork Orange memes at least.
Wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah.
Get his opinion on one of them.
God, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, everybody. We got a little off
Little
track.
tangent. Sorry.
What is very important here is that blinking is racist, and this guy has provided us with proof that.
Proof. All right.
Proof.
Yeah.
Proof.
Usually these people don't have proof.
Yeah. Oh no, he linked an article. He proved that blinking is racist. So here comes a quote from that article.
Okay.
So a Taiwanese American strategy consultant who goes by the web handle Jaws thought it was funny that the camera had difficulty figuring out whether her family had their eyes open.
Okay.
So she posted a photo of the blink warning on her blog under the title, "Racist Camera. I did not blink. I'm just Asian." Which is pretty fucking funny. Yeah. That's a good post. Yeah,
I like
That's hilarious. That's a good post. That's very funny. But it even the person making the post thinks it's funny. You know, she's not actually saying blinking is racist.
No.
And she's the person who, if anybody could call a victim, is the victim of the problem in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
It's asinine. It's weird because people want to throw this like word snowflake around all the time, and they want to say people get offended too easily. Yeah. But the people who are most vocal and nonsensical about this crap are the people who are looking for people being offended by things. So it's like, who's the real fucking snowflake here? You know, you're the ones shitting your pants over thinking people are offended when they're not. Yeah. Like it just, I don't know. It's the pot calling snow black is what it is. Like, that's what it feels like. It's unbelievable. Anyway, funny post by the way.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny. I giggled when I saw it, but at the same time, if more Asian faces were used in the programming of the software, it wouldn't have the Caucasian bias found in the facial detection software.
So the programmers are racist. They didn't use enough people.
Well, we're getting to that. So, clearly, the article is not calling blinking racist. Yeah. Blinking is actually only briefly mentioned as part of the explanation of how some facial detection softwares work. And in fact, in the entire article, which I want to say is roughly like maybe 600 to 800 words. I read the whole thing and it only mentions blinking 4 times. I even did like a search in it.
Oh, yeah.
To see, and it only mentions blinking 4 times.
Okay.
And the only time when it even regarded race specifically was her quip, you know. Yeah, so and it talks about how there's facial and blinking detection. And it did not at any point say blinking is racist. That's stupid. Anyway, another quote I would like to point out is Nikon isn't the only big brand whose consumer cameras have displayed an occasional, though clearly unintentional, bias toward Caucasian faces. So, in the article itself, it says clearly unintentional. The article isn't even accusing the creators or the programmers of the technology of being racist.
Right.
Nobody is being accused of being racist in this article. It is simply pointing out the fact that not including people of color when creating this type of software can and will end up creating a product that has a Caucasian bias. It's a lesson that is obviously an oversight from companies like HP and Nikon that were mentioned in the article, but it has nothing to do with blinking being racist. It doesn't even say that the problem that led to the racial bias was coming from a racist place.
Right.
Like It's insane. This comment, the person who posted this comment is desperately grasping at straws that don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. It's insane. But hold up, before you think that the woke mob isn't invading pretty much everything we can think of.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the bathroom.
I did.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely did. You racist.
Is that racist? I'm sorry.
Racist.
I'm sorry.
So there is an endless trove of people claiming that others are claiming that everything is racist when there's no such basis in reality.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't even bother to understand the headline of what they've found also claim that they found something that people are claiming to be racist, as we've seen so far. So let's go over one that's a little closer to the truth. Okay, a little bit closer to the truth.
All right.
So this was posted by some asshole. I try not to give handles that, because I don't like, if we ever do get like a big following, I don't want anybody tormenting, trolling, or
yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I don't want anybody harassing anybody, even if I don't care how much of a piece of shit somebody turns out to be. I don't want a bunch of people trolling them.
Right.
I don't think that's right. The best a person can do is like approach somebody and be like, "Hey, this is why that doesn't make sense," and try to better that human being. But I try not to put people's actual real handles on here, because I don't want trolls attacking anybody, even the people I don't like. But anyway, this person, dumbass, posted, Is bathing racist? Yes, apparently. It's white privilege to both bathe and to openly admit that you don't bathe. I'm not even making this shit up. These are actual results on the internet. Oh, and Jake Gyllenhaal is racist because he bathes.
That bastard.
He was really singled out on that one. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out Jake Gyllenhaal is racist. I don't know. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal he's weird enough. I like him, and I don't think he would be. I feel like, if anything, he'd be such a staunch leftist that he'd get on my nerves. But I wouldn't be surprised because of how unusual he is.
Yeah.
To find that for some reason he fell into like an InfoWars rabbit hole and became one of those. He's unpredictable is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I found the article that likely fuels this narrative that causes people to think that bathing is considered racist, and I'll read a little bit for you. This is a Vancouver business owner named Christopher Borland, and he was doing an interview with CBC, and he said, the way people presented it to me was that if you had dreadlocks, you were unkempt, you were dirty, you weren't washed. And that was the stereotype that followed me for a very long time. I kind of empathize with that a little bit because, like, I have been to workplaces where dreadlocks have been banned,
right?
Which it's inappropriate. And then that poor kid had the dreadlocks, and they made him cut it off to stay on the basketball team.
Oh wow!
Like,
okay.
It's insane. Which we could probably go over that too eventually.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other. Oh my god. I kind of want to. I'd rather have a black voice in that one because.
Yeah.
Like, why make the kid cut his fucking dreadlocks off? Who's it hurting? Like,
you can get rid of your dreadlocks, right? I don't know how difficult it is, but I know you can wash them out and basically reset your hair.
So
it's doable.
So I actually have looked into this. Not like as a white dude, I don't need dreadlocks.
Right.
Yeah. I don't.
I don't think that'd be a good look.
Anytime I see a white dude with dreadlocks, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake,
Yeah, why are you doing that?
like come on. Like, certain hairstyles are not made for white hair,
Yeah, very true.
And in fact, people who try to do dreadlocks and cornrows and stuff who are white end up losing a lot of hair because of it.
Oh yeah.
And like I remember seeing a tweet from from this black woman who said and it was like a retweet of a video of a white woman losing a huge chunk of her hair because she tried to do cornrows. And
Ouch.
and the black girl goes, how many times do we have to tell you this is not for your hair?
Yeah. Well, it's completely different hair. Yeah.
It's different
a
hair.
lot different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they have like special shampoos and stuff just to...
Yeah, there's a whole section at Walmart for black hair, and it's because it's a different type of hair. You know, like you and I have very different types of hair.
Oh yeah, mine is thin, and it wouldn't stand up to that.
And mine would probably come right out if I tried to do cornrows. Like
probably.
It's not for me.
No.
But I think that the bias against against dreadlocks comes from a white place,
Oh, yeah.
Because say if more of our business leadership were black people, I doubt there would be an anti-dreadlock clause anywhere, or even like considering dreadlocks to be unkempt, because they're really not. It's just a different way of washing it,
Right.
And I don't have the experience of doing that, obviously, but from what I've read is that they do clean their dreadlocks. It's just not done in the same way as you would just run shampoo through your hair, which turns out is not that healthy to do anyway.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to wash your hair every day.
Yeah, no.
Takes out all the oils and stuff, right?
Yeah. But anyway, moving on with the article. So this is not a continuing quote from Borland, but this is continuing in the article. It says, meanwhile, the dirty hipster look, usually marked by long, messy hair, Hawaiian shirts, and overgrown facial hair, is a trend sported by white celebrities like Justin Bieber and Post Malone, and celebrated by fans. This racist double standard is why it's so irksome to hear white celebrities like Ashton Kutcher, Jake Gyllenhaal, just casually talk about their bathing habits. It's easy for wealthy white people to be flippant about something supposedly as innocuous as showering when they know they won't be judged beyond a few social media jabs.
Right.
Black people, like me, on the other hand, know all too well that our perceived cleanliness can have serious social and systematic ramifications for us. It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Like, there has been a history of racial bias when it comes to bathing and stuff. And it's like Jake Gyllenhaal can go out there and look unkempt and have his shirt unbuttoned, look disheveled, hair all over the fucking place, hasn't shaved for a couple days. And people are like, haha, that Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Whereas at the same time, any black celebrity doing that would be like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Right.
Like, there's a different perspective. Like, that is absolutely true,
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that would be really hard to ignore if you're paying attention at all. Bathing is apparently racist.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that, because I had a shower today, so I don't know.
You're a racist.
I knew it.
You are a racist.
Sorry, everybody. Didn't mean to let you down like that.
But, like, the whole point stands, it's like, if a white person were to come out and say, I just saw a fucking shower. A white celebrity. We're saying, I just don't fucking shower. People are like, oh, how quirky.
Yeah.
But then, like, if a black person, a black celebrity were to do the same thing, like, well, that's gross.
Right.
Like, it's just, there's a different perspective. There's a different approach from people. And I also noticed something else about this commenter who said that Jake Gyllenhaal is racist because he bathes. Something weird that I noticed when I was reading about this is that he didn't get called racist because he bathed, first off. And in fact, in none of the articles that I read, he was not called racist at all. Period.
I don't understand, how would that make you racist? If you're taking a shower, how does that make you racist? Like, just the fact that you're doing that. I mean, if you were saying, oh, I took a shower today and all these other people didn't, so they're awful. That would be racist. But the fact that he just took a shower, I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Not only was he not called racist for bathing,
right? Because that's stupid.
Because that's stupid. Yes. Which I mean, sure, there's gonna be some idiot out there.
There's always an idiot out there.
There's somebody making some dumb claim. But not only was he not called racist for bathing, but what the comment that he made that ended up becoming a part of this meme is that he doesn't bathe often.
Okay. So now I'm really confused.
So basically, the concern here is that Jake Gyllenhaal can come out and say that he doesn't bathe very often.
Okay.
Whereas if a black person were to come out and say the same thing, they would probably be scrutinized for it more than somebody like Jake Gyllenhaal would be.
Okay.
Which makes sense to me because there is a history of imagining that black people are somehow dirty in some way.
Right.
And I ended up going through a lot of rabbit holes on this one, which I'm not going to include all the details here because we don't need to go over all of it. So not only was this not him being accused of being racist for not bathing, for bathing, right. He literally, the thing that he said was that he doesn't bathe that often. And in the article, what the person said is irksome is the fact that these white celebrities get to tout about not bathing, and it's just seen as a quirky characteristic of them.
Right.
Whereas if a black celebrity were to say the same thing, they would more likely to be called dirty or gross in some way.
I gotcha.
This article absolutely had nothing to do with calling bathing racist.
Right.
But I would say of all the articles and all the comments that I read, that was the closest I could find to anything saying that something innocuous was racist.
Okay.
And I did a fuck ton of reading on this and couldn't find anything. This is the best example. If anybody were to present an example for their side, this was the best one I could find. And even that doesn't really support their argument.
Right.
That everything is racist. But no, hold up. That person found an internet result.
Of course they did.
That they didn't take the time to understand, but that means that everything is racist. Yes, that's right. Now, I will push back a little bit on the part of this article. Is one of the things that was said was that people like Justin Bieber and Post Malone can get off easily by not bathing or not showering and not taking care of themselves.
Well, is that true, or did they just look like they don't bathe?
I don't know if they've really talked about it or whatever. But I am going to push back a little bit, even though I am on the side of this person who wrote the article, and said that white people seem to be able to get away with a lot more than black people can. That's 100% true.
Absolutely,
that's absolutely true. But I will push back a little bit about the thing on Post Malone. Post Malone was actually hugely targeted about being unclean and unkempt, and was treated with unfounded criticisms about smelling bad and whatnot, and to the point that it actually had a real impact on him, as far as you could see through Twitter. And it was so bad that in fact, in 2018, even though at the time I had never listened to Post Malone's music, I thought he was probably just some douche. I didn't give a shit about him.
Right.
But I still felt the urge to retweet this saying that, hey, reminder, Post Malone is a human being,
Right.
because of people saying this shit about him. And when I retweeted it, the thing I retweeted was this post from him, and it says, "Never Googling myself again, LOL. Got called a walking STD,
Oh,
a
jeez.
human snot bubble by 2 different publications. Deleted Safari after, LOL. If anyone is having a tough time, keep rocking, guys. Never let anybody tell you shit. You are awesome." Clearly, he's upset.
Yeah.
And he's trying to put on this like very positive vibe facade, and to make sure other people don't feel as miserable as he did reading this crap.
Yeah.
And like he's a human being.
Yeah. Well, what was it? A walking snot bubble? Is that what they
A
said?
walking snot bubble.
I mean, how awful is that?
A walking STD and a human snot bubble.
Human snot bubble.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's just mean. Why are you gonna be like that?
Yeah. Like
Nobody deserves that.
Why be a piece of shit? Why be a piece of shit until like Post Malone, all he does is make music,
Yeah.
and he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah,
like,
he seems all right. I've seen him do a couple things. He seems like a okay person.
Yeah. I just and there are all these rumors about him smelling bad and shit. It's like I personally I fucking smell bad, and I'm not.
Well, we've all had our days, You're at home, you're hanging around, you're not gonna go out and do anything. Yeah, I don't take a shower every day if I'm not gonna go out and do stuff. Sometimes I stink. It happens. Yeah. Nobody's ever called me a walking STD. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with you? Your mother did a terrible job raising you. You're a jerk.
I agree.
Shame on you.
I agree. But wait. That one guy.
Oh, God.
He played the Google racism game and found that bottled water is racist. Did you know that? Did you know that?
I was unaware. Have I been buying the wrong water?
No.
Or just water in general? It's not just Aquafina.
Bottled water in general is racist.
It's anything, huh? Anything that comes in a bottle?
Let me read to you this quote from Mother Jones that's going to tell you that bottled water is racist.
Okay, let's hear
it. It's so racist.
Go ahead, explain it to me. I'll never drink bottled water again.
Yeah, no, you won't after I read you this, because it's racist.
Sure.
Quote, judging from a new study published by the American Medical Association, the PR push is working. Researchers from the Medical College of Wisconsin found that Latinos and African Americans are more likely to give bottled water to their children and spend up to twice as much of their household income on bottled water as do whites. After surveying some 640 people, they found that Latinos and African Americans are more likely to consume bottled water because they view tap water as a health risk.
Okay, so like these are the people from Mexico who aren't supposed to drink the water, and from Africa who don't necessarily have water. They buying bottled water? I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's almost
That's ridiculous.
It's almost as if bottled water isn't racist.
Yeah.
And that nobody, not even this article, is claiming that it is. How weird would that be if that were the case? How silly would we feel right now if it turned out that nobody's calling fucking bottled water racist?
That'd be ridiculous.
So fucking stupid. Like, these desperate grabs at trying to show that the woke mob has gone too far shows how little evidence that these people actually have. They find themselves sharing chanty binks to make blanket assumptions about feminism and sharing articles that sound the most ridiculous they can find so that they can make blanket assumptions about, quote, wokeness. I went through so many of these everything is racist posts, and I could not find a single one that actually cited any sources that actually made an egregious claim of something innocuous being racist. Couldn't find a single fucking one. I was only able to find people either misunderstanding or not even attempting to read the sources they found, and in one case, not even finishing the title of the fucking article they cited.
Yet this lost interest that quick, huh?
Yet this crap keeps getting liked and upvoted and shared.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some percentage of people who are either trolls or will claim to be once they find themselves cornered by facts.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I call the troll defense.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when it's pointed out that your post is idiotic and you realize you have no way to defend it, you can just say, you were trolling.
Mm-hmm.
I was trolling just to get a rise out of you, and it worked, you cuck. Like that's the response you're going to get once they realize they have nothing to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the reasons why trying to talk to these people is impossible.
Yeah.
You're not likely going to get anybody to admit when they're wrong. Of everything I've read, I couldn't find anything that claimed the subject of the headline was actually racist. Just finding interesting connections between the subjects and the effects of racism was essentially the subject of these articles. Nothing was calling breathing, blinking, bottled water, sleeping. Nothing. It was not saying any of those were racist. That's right. That's idiotic.
Yeah.
Like that's idiotic to even believe that anybody else would believe that. You know? It's stupid. It's such a huge disconnect from other human beings to even assume that that's a possibility. Like, I usually try to give people the benefit of the doubt and like have a real conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just coming from a dumb place. That's not worth like actually having a conversation with these people.
Yeah. Well, it's just because you put some random words into a search engine and it's trying to find the best result.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's just it found these two words in the same article and that's it.
It's like, well, I found racism and I found blinking.
This must be what you're looking for.
And then somebody goes, oh my God, there's a result. Blinking, people think blinking is racist. No, nobody thinks that. Shut the fuck up. Go fuck yourself. But the closest anyone could argue that one of these articles claims that something seemingly innocuous is racist was the bottled water one, because it does mention that targeted advertising had focused on Black and Hispanic people because they are more likely to believe that there are health risks associated with drinking tap water. And I find that completely understandable.
Oh, yeah.
I had found myself in the position, if I had found myself in the position of like being the victim of environmental injustice, that would lead me to believe that my tap water would not be worth drinking.
Yeah.
You know?
And, I have questions about my tap water. I live here in Illinois.
Yeah. And Black and Hispanic people are more likely to live in neighborhoods that are neglected in the first place.
Yeah.
So you're going to think they haven't fixed the street. They don't send the police. I'm doubting the water is okay.
Yeah.
And so it's not that bottled water is racist. It's that our racist institutions have led people like Black and Hispanic people to probably prefer bottled water, and I don't blame them.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. But that's the closest I could find among these posts.
Right.
And that's even some stretch to even like claim that people are saying that something innocuous is racist. So no one's calling you racist for smiling. No one's calling you racist for sleeping. No one is calling you racist for breathing, blinking, driving, running, or walking. The idea that wokeness is so pervasive that everything we do is racist is stupid at best and intentionally spreading misinformation at worst. Anyway, I still somehow love reading into bullshit.
Oh,
so what do you think,
it's
Bobby?
Interesting.
What do you think?
People are just they're dumb. I know I've said that before, but I don't know. Anytime you find a search engine like this, somebody's gonna look for something stupid, and they're gonna find it. And that's exactly what they did. They found it, and they didn't bother to read it, and they just went with it. And
and sometimes they didn't even finish the headline.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is just speculation,
mm-hmm.
and there's no real way to prove it. But I think that this is just a political bandwagon effect. People are looking for whatever they can to confirm what they want to believe, and it creates a trend like this. That would be my guess as to why they are so eager to share nonsense and why it gets upvoted so much.
Mm-hmm.
You post it, you get your likes.
That's true.
Get a little.
There's always somebody out there who's gonna like it.
You get a little serotonin boost because you got a like.
Yep.
You know, because some of your twats enjoyed the dumb thing you shared.
There's always somebody out there. Somebody's mom is gonna be like, "Oh, my kid did this." Like.
Well, when it comes to Twitter and Reddit, like it's not usually family members.
Usually not, but it could be.
There's some kind of echo chamber going on.
Yeah,
most of the time, and that leads to really bad things from the right and the left. Which, God, I've got a lot from both of them. It's been a mess. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening to the Meaningless podcast, because sometimes memes are meaningless. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.